Tana Amen started as a neurosurgical intensive care nurse at Loma Linda Medical Center. And currently she teaches practical lifestyle applications at the Amen clinics using food to heal the mind and the body. She's also an author and appears on PBS with teaching philosophies. I had the opportunity to share a couple moments with Tana. What I found out is she was like Bosley for hair. She's not only a student, but she was felt honored that she had the opportunity to speak here today. I found also that we have two things in common. I wear brown shoes, and she's a brown belt in Kempo Karate. I have a black belt, and she also has a black belt in Taekwondo. So it's interesting because what I asked is, how do you justify your life between a healthy lifestyle and healing the mind and the body? And she's going to explain to us how to heal the mind with food. So it's my honor to bring up Tana Amen.
Thank you so much. Good morning. I was so honored when I got the invitation from A4M to come speak to you today, and I wondered what I was possibly going to teach all of you, since I'm usually out there. And I recently wrote a book that became a New York Times bestseller, which I was really excited about. And I really credit that to A4M, because it's what I learned here about nutrition that helped me do that. And so as I was wondering what I was going to teach all of you, I thought, you know, the last thing I'm going to come here and try and do is teach any physicians about science. So what I am best at is lifestyle application. As my husband often says, doctors tell patients what to do, nurses show them how to do it, and they hold their hand in the process. So that's what my specialty is, and that's what I'm here today to do. And I'm going to teach you how we do that, why we're so successful in our clinics. We know that you all don't have that much time. How do we do it? Why does it work so well? And I'm going to start by telling you a story of a sick little girl who wanted to be a doctor, and what she has in common with two gorillas, Bible-believing churches, and a group of drug addicts and criminals, and how those stories come together to help your patients. I was a sick little girl who wanted to be a doctor. And I grew up with a lot of trauma and drama. It was like there was a white tiger hiding around every corner, and you never knew when something bad was going to jump out and bite you. I still remember the day when I was 4 years old, that my uncle was murdered in a drug deal gone horribly wrong. And I saw my mother and my grandmother fall to the floor sobbing in grief. And I used to soothe my anxiety as a latchkey kid when I was young with my best friends, the captain, the leprechaun, and a few others thrown in for good measure. But the poor quality food and the chronic stress in my home attacked my immune system. I was sick a lot. I became what you all know as a frequent flyer. I earned my miles the hard way at the hospital. And a few years later, my grandmother came to live with us when her diabetes became completely unmanageable, and she and I shared the same diet. In fact, I thought she had a thing for the captain for a while, so when he started coming to dinner as well as breakfast. And she used to make the most amazing warm Syrian bread, smothered in butter and drowning in honey. And I think even the leprechaun thought that was magically delicious. But by the time I was 11, I was giving my grandmother her insulin shots because my mother had to work 3 jobs just so we could survive. And I spent so much time around doctors that I really wanted to be one. But in my early 20s, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer that metastasized and came back 3 times. Kind of unusual, but it completely ruined my plans for medical school. And I became so devastated and overwhelmed. And I sunk into this deep depression